everyone, welcome back to BDG Reviews. Just another VHS update. As you can kind of see, it's a decent sized update, so I just didn't want to get too far behind and have to do something huge. So let's just get right into it. When I remember the prices, I'll let you know what I paid for these. Yeah, so let's just get into it. First up, we got Alien. It's a classic. You know, you don't need to explain yourself with Alien. It's Alien. That was $1. So yeah. So, you know, you got Alien, you have to get Aliens as well. I've always liked this particular release, because I always remember when I was a kid, I used to rent this a lot. And this was always the version with that, you know, just the aliens on the cover and everything. Fun stuff. Again, $1. Next up, we got Hellbound Hellraiser 2, 99 cents. I wasn't going to leave it there at that price. You can come home with me. Next up, we got Evil Dead 2, again, 99 cents. And I love that original cover. Always have. And again, 99 cents. Goodbye. I mean, I have enough copies of Evil Dead 2. You know, it's probably one of the most released movies of all time, but it's still kind of nice to have a VHS. Next up, that actually came later, so I'll put that down there. Next, we got Phantoms. This was $1. And as everyone no doubt knows, Ben Affleck is the bomb in this movie. Next up, we got Das Boot. This is the 2-tape full director's cut. It's one I've never actually seen, Das Boot. I've always found it kind of interesting, but I've never really wanted to shell out any money for it. So for $1, which is what this was, you know, I'll grab a copy like that and I'll see what I think. You know, is what it is. Next up, we got Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's a classic. What else can you say? It's a masterpiece. Just leave it at that. Next, we got Def Leppard, Historia. This is one I always remember I used to see this in video stores a lot as a kid, and I don't know if it's live performances or I think there's videos and live performances or something. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet, but again, $1 for that. I'll take it. Next up, this is one I actually didn't know whether I wanted to post or not, and that is Dark Eyes of London. The interesting thing about this, you know, like this is just kind of like that. This is 100% a bootleg. I'm 100% sure of it due to the fact when you finish watching the movie, you still have about like that much tape left. That being said, though, it's still played. I bought it for the cover. I needed a replacement plastic cover, and this had one, so for $1, you know, it was it was sort of worth it. This movie was released in the States as The Human Monster, and it's actually a pretty decent little film. It's a lot. It's you know, it is what it is, right? Let's put it this way, I don't regret buying it, but, you know, if it hadn't been for the plastic cover, I probably would have given it a miss. Yeah. Next up, we got the immortal, the classic King Kong. I had to get this. I mean, like, that's like embossed and everything. It's just awesome. And honestly, King Kong is one of those movies, the worse quality, the better it looks, if that makes sense. You know, you watch this like on pristine Blu-ray, it looks good, but you see all the issues with the King Kong maquette and everything. You watch it on VHS, you know, it looks better. That's just my opinion, though. Next up, we got the Beatles, Help. It's the Beatles. It was $1. Yeah. And Hard Day's Night. Again, it was $1. I wasn't going to leave it there at that price. Next up, this was $6, and first up is a Lurker in the Lobby. A bunch of H.P. Lovecraft like short fan films. Really good release. If you get a chance, see that. It's pretty damn good. Then we got Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. This is kind of neat because it's one of those these HGV like collector's editions. So it has like, you know, bonus features before, you know, like before that was a thing, you know. It was kind of neat. And last up, this is one I needed a plastic case for, and that is Tales from the Dark Side. All three of those were $6 a piece. You know, really solid thing. I got them from a Facebook group. You know, this actually was just the tape, you know. So I was like, screw it, you know, I need some cover art and everything, so whip that up and put it in a case. So it's great. Good stuff. I've said before, VHS is still a viable format. I mean, it's nowhere near the quality of modern stuff. Hell, it's not even near the quality of most YouTube stuff. But if you got a movie that you've always sort of been interested in but never wanted to pull the trigger on, VHS, you can get it for like $1 or less. Can't complain at that. But that's it for now. See you next time.